Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a major shift in how the public perceives Blake Lively. Once admired for her fashion, relatable personality, and seemingly effortless charm, she's now facing a complex legal and PR battle surrounding her film It Ends With Us. It's astonishing to see how quickly public perception can transform, and we're here to explore the underlying reasons for this shift. How did this transformation happen, and what's really going on behind the scenes? Let's break it. Drama centers around Blake's collaboration with director Justin Baldonis on It Ends With Us, a project that initially promised to be another well-intentioned adaptation of a best-selling novel. However, things quickly took an unexpected turn. Initially, Blake seemed to blame Justin for negative press, claiming he was planting rumors that painted her as unfriendly or self-focused. She positioned herself as the victim of Hollywood power plays, suggesting that studio dynamics might lead a director to undermine a well-known star.
And being frank, if it were not for women giving me direct feedback in my own personal life and being a man who was willing to at least listen to them, there's no chance that I would be having this conversation. So the message, to answer your question, the message is very simple. As men, we need to embrace all of the parts of us that make us human. That's it.
It is.
It's very simple.
However, a steady trickle of leaked messages and internal notes started to paint a different picture, raising questions about whether Blake was actually driving the controversy. Viewers noticed odd moments in early interviews for the film's promotion, with Blake seeming impatient and dismissive, rather than exuding the lighthearted collaborative spirit common during new releases. This prompted some longtime supporters to delve into archives of her past interviews, hoping to find whether these odd moments were simply a product of stress or if a pattern had existed for years. Rose quickly, with a particularly forceful article appearing in the New York Times. That story portrayed Justin as a forceful figure overshadowing Blake on set. However, neutral observers noted key lines were shortened or omitted, emojis were missing, and entire parts of conversations were rearranged in that text exchanges, casting doubt on Blake's narrative and questioning whether the version of events she'd presented was entirely faithful to the original evidence. These omissions fueled suspicions that the narrative Blake had presented was not exactly faithful to the original evidence.
It's believing that people and humanity are inherently good. And they crave nutritious food in their soul, just as they do in their bodies.
As the conversation expanded beyond a simple he said, she said, some industry insiders began whispering that Blake's motivations went deeper than just controlling her own image. Reportedly, she wanted creative control of It Ends With Us, from script rewrites to post-production decisions. Messages appeared to show her enlisting her husband Ryan Reynolds and her friend Taylor Swift, threatening to leverage their star power to sway executives. Fans who once saw Blake as a down-to-earth performer were startled to see references hinting that she might view these famous colleagues almost like chess pieces she could deploy for influence.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
Justin began systematically releasing evidence that undermined Blake's claims. Among the most damning was evidence contradicting her story of Justin supposedly intruding into her trailer without permission while she was pumping milk for her child. In her account, it came across as a major personal violation. However, text exchanges later showed she had actually invited him, even joking about the timing, and Justin's replies made it clear he was uncomfortable with the situation and gave her multiple opportunities to reschedule. A similar pattern surfaced in her remarks about producer Jamie Heath. Blake indicated that Jamie had shown her footage bordering on inappropriate material, implying it was a strange invasion of her comfort zone. Those who had seen the actual clip described it as a private recording of Jamie's wife giving birth, intended as a reference for a realistic birth scene. Instead of being some explicit or harrowing display, it was said to be a sincere artistic depiction of childbirth. Once again, the discrepancy between Blake's portrayal and the factual context called her credibility into question.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
Another major sticking point involved the scope of Blake's attempts to override Justin's creative authority. Though he had written, directed, and played a key role in shaping the project from its inception, notes suggested Blake was pushing for final approval of daily footage and even planning her own edits. She purportedly hinted that if she didn't get her way, she would withdraw from promotional events, effectively holding a significant piece of the film's success hostage. Some insiders relay that during the movie's premiere, she and Ryan even requested that Justin and his family be kept in a separate area, an unusual move given that Justin was the director and should have been front and center.
And being frank, if it were not for women giving me direct feedback in my own personal life and being a man who was willing to at least listen to them, there's no chance that I would be having this conversation. So the message, to answer your question, the message is very simple. As men, we need to embrace all of the parts of us that make us human. That's it. It's very simple.
Another area Blake highlighted was an alleged fixation Justin had on her postpartum figure. She claimed he spoke about her body in a belittling way, and rumors surfaced that Ryan confronted Justin in private, demanding respect for his wife. At first, many found this plausible. However, deeper digging revealed Justin deals with chronic back pain and needed accurate weight estimates for safe planning of certain lifting scenes. Text messages and internal conversations supported the notion that he was making sure no one would be hurt, rather than obsessing over her appearance. Adding to this, others on set recalled Justin praising Blake's dedication during a time that was still physically and emotionally demanding for him, about the absence of an intimacy coordinator. She argued that Justin forced unplanned close contact scenes on her. However, in interviews given before legal filings, Blake had praised the production's approach to safe practices, even joking that she played a de facto role in choreographing romantic sequences, not to mention private conversations regarding filming. Beyond the substance of her accusations, the style and structure of Blake's legal complaint also drew scrutiny. She touched on a list of sensitive topics, questions of personal respect, maternal privacy, and workplace decorum ideas that resonate with people on a deep level.
It's believing that people and humanity are inherently good. And they crave nutritious food in their soul, just as they do in their bodies.
Ultimately, the consequences for this entire situation for the film's career and the fallout on set could be huge. Multiple studios appear to be reevaluating prospective deals with Blake, and the fallout on set could be huge as well. She had carved out a reputation as a reliable headliner known for her style and star power, but that once protected image is fragmenting under the weight of these revelations. A lot of what the issues have brought for each party has changed their perspective, and in the end, only the audience is left to decide how they are going to react to the events.